Hey, sixth graders, this is Mrs. Zimmerman here, and we are here for another lesson. So today what we're going to do is continue graphing on the coordinate plane. So remember, now we have 4 quadrants that we're graphing in with positive and negative numbers. And what we're going to do today is combine shapes. Once you can see my screen, there it is. Okay, so here's my first slide. What are all of these shapes? Well, you should look at these and they should all be pretty familiar to you. And the common name that they all share is polygon, okay? They are all flat shapes, so we're not doing 3D shapes, nothing like that. They're just flat shapes with straight lines connecting all of them, all the lines together. And then where they meet at these points, we call those vertices. Okay, you might remember that from chapter 7 when we did a lot of the shape geometry type of stuff. Okay, so we've got polygons like these. And then this is the coordinate plane that I have been teaching you. And so today what we're going to do is combine them. Okay, I'm going to head to the front and I will show you exactly what we're going to do. Okay, all right, so here's problem number 1. It says that the vertices of a quadrilateral are A, B, C, and D, and they give the ordered pairs, and they want us to draw the quadrilateral in a coordinate plane. So here's what we're going to do with these directions. First thing we're going to do is graph and label all 4 points. So point A is -1, 1, and we always do the X and Y first, so we're going to go back 1, up 1, and we have point A right here. And then B is 0, 6, so that's over and back, none, but up 6 because it's positive. C is 4, 5, so that's just positive over 4, up 5. And then D is 5, -2. So over 5 and then down because it's -2. And then once we have all 4 points labeled, we just connect the dots. And here we have a 4-sided quadrilateral. There you go. That's it. Okay? Let's see, what else are they going to have us do? Okay, let's do one more just so we can get a little bit of an idea if we've got fractions in there, okay? So we have points W, X, Y, and Z, and we're just going to plot them in order. So W is 4, 4, so over 4, up 4. And then X is 7, 4. So over 7, up 4. Then we have Y, which is 2.5, and then -2. So that means we're going over 2.5 would put us right there, and down -2. So we're going to be right in the middle, in between the 2 and the 3 here, like that. And then that was Y. And then my next one is Z, which is -1/2, -2. So that would be back like right here, down 2 would be right there, and that's Z, right? Yes. Okay, now we need to connect them. WX, XY, YZ, and there we go. And that's it. Okay, that's the basic base of today's lesson is going to be graphing polygons. So I'm only going to do 2. I think you can handle it from there. The next thing that we're going to do is find the distance between 2 points. Now, finding the distance between 2 points. That means that they want us to take these two and figure out how far away they are from each other. So think about it this way. If we had a coordinate plane and I was going to graph -3, -5, just rough guess, it would be like right here, okay? And then if I was going to graph 2, -5, it'd be like over 2, down 5, it'd be like right here. So they want to know what's the distance right here. How far away are these 2 points? Now, if you had an actual, if we graphed this out on a nice coordinate plane, you could count the boxes in between each dot, right? But if you do not have a coordinate plane in front of you, there is a little bit of a trick that we can use. So let's look at our ordered pairs. This first example, we have 2 of them, right? Now, you have to look and see which coordinate do they have the same. Are the x values the same, or are the y values the same? And in this case, the y values are the same, right? It's -5. So because the y is the same, we're not going to worry about the y. We don't have to worry about the -5. Doesn't matter, because it's going to be on that line, okay? But what we do need to do is take the absolute value of both x values and add them together. So we're going to take the absolute value of -3 plus the absolute value of 2. So absolute value of -3 is 3 plus, what's the absolute value of 2? 2. What's 3 plus 2? 5. So the distance between these 2 points is 5. Now let's look at this example over here. I have -6, 6 and -6, 4. Again, we want to look and see which values do I have that are the same. So my first ones are -6, -6, and then I have 6, 4, right? And what do I have that's the same? Well, this time my x values are the same. So I'm going to cross off my x values and then do the absolute value of the y's. So the absolute value of 6 plus the absolute value of 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. That's how we do that, okay? Let's maybe just try one more just to make sure we get the hang of it, okay? We've got -4, 2, -4, 5. And this time, being we get the hang of it, we cross off what's similar. So we cross off the -4s, we take the absolute value of 2 plus the absolute value of 5. 2 is 2 away from 0, 5 is 5 away from 0, 5 plus 2 is 7, okay? Okay, the next thing we're going to do is find the distance between 2 points. Okay. But if you don't have a graph to use, we can just look at the ordered pairs, and there's a little bit of a formula that we can use to figure this out. So let's look at these two ordered pairs. Okay, my x values are -3 and 2, and my y values are -5 and -5. Okay, the -5s, that is the y value, right? They have a y value that is the exact same. And we don't need to worry about that value. We're not going to do anything with the -5. We just need to know that they're the same. And if they are the same, we're going to take the absolute value of both x's and add them together. So we're going to take the absolute value of -3 plus the absolute value of 2. And the absolute value of -3 is 3 plus the absolute value of 2, which is 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. And that's how we're going to do that. Okay? Now let's take a look at this example over here. Now I've got -6 in my x spot and 6, 4 in the y spot. What do I have that's similar? Well, this time my x is the same, so I don't need to worry about the -6's. But what you do need to pay attention to is that if your x values are the same, then we subtract the absolute values. Okay, so this is the absolute value of 6 minus the absolute value of 4. 6, the absolute value of 6 is 6, minus the absolute value of 4, which is 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. So those dots, those points are 2 away. Let's try another one just so we don't forget here, okay? Now, we've got -4, 2, -4, 5. My -4s are the same, and that's an x value. If my x's are the same, I subtract. So I need to put my bigger number first, so I want the absolute value of 5 minus the absolute value of 2. The absolute value of 5 is 5. The absolute value of 2 is 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. That's really all we're doing here. The biggest thing is that you're going to have to remember if they've got the same y, you add. If they have the same x value, then you are going to subtract. Okay? So far we've graphed polygons. Now we can find the distance between 2 points. The next thing we're going to do is find the perimeter and area of a shape. So first thing we need to do is graph this polygon. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to graph. I've got 4 points, and I'm just going to graph them. You can follow along with me. -3, 2, 5, 2, 5, -3, and -3, 3. Okay, so we have to find the perimeter and the area. Let's start with perimeter. What is perimeter? Perimeter is the distance around the shape. So here we've got a rectangle, okay? And think about this. Here's how I would do it, okay? Because they're always going to want you to graph it first, so you're going to have this visual. And I'm just going to count, right? I just have to add up all 4 sides, and that's my perimeter. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me just get rid of this. I probably should have. Okay. So on this side, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots, boxes. And then this side I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 here and 5 here. Well, if I have 5 on the right, I also have 5 on the left. And if I have 8 on the bottom, I also have 8 on the top. So we just add those together. 5 plus 5 plus 8 plus 8. 5 plus 5 is 10, 8 plus 8 is 16. So my perimeter is 26 units. And I don't know if we're talking about feet or yards or anything else here, so I'm just going to leave it at 26 units. Now the next thing I have to find is area. And we know for just a four-sided rectangular shape, area is just base times height. So what's my base? 8. And what's my height? 5. So I'm just going to multiply those together. 8 times 5, which is 40. And this time I have to do units squared because we're talking about area. And that's how you're going to do perimeter and area. And I think that is everything that we are going to be doing. So those are your 3 lessons or topics, things that we've learned inside this lesson. You're going to graph polygons and then find the distance between two shapes and then find perimeter and area within those polygons. Okay? Good luck.